Morning all. Right, let's get straight into it then. Saturday morning, so look at the average. 9 crosses submitted by you guys. That's great. Well, one of them was mine. That's great. Same amount, more or less, as the judges, because there's usually 8 of them, sometimes 7, but usually 8. So there's a little cluster there. You can see there's a little cluster there at the bottom left of 4 of us. I was in there. Let me make mine flash. I'm the bottom one. That's the one I put in there last Tuesday. Since Tuesday, might have had another look, and I think he's looking slightly steeper, so I may have to go a little bit further up, but I'm going to stay in that cluster. But let's draw some lines from this guy, and let's cover the span, the width of the crosses. Not that wide a spread. I tend to think, to me, it looks like he's looking to the left of that spread there. This guy down here, the back. Let's draw some lines up from him then, and cover the same crosses. Let's go up there like that. So yeah, I mean, this fella on the right here, he's not a lot of good. We can't really see his eyes or where he's looking. I mean, the inclination of his head perhaps is about the right height, and he looks as though his body is turned slightly to the right and his head is slightly to the left. But he probably wasn't even in the picture. They've added him in later. But like I said, on Tuesday, this guy looks like he's in the air, doesn't he? And he's waiting for it to come down to him. So let's get straight into the average, which I've already looked at. And now I've lost my note. Hang on a second. Right, so my note was the average was 25241203. So I'll get rid of these in a second and put a big white cross in there through the average. But before we do that, like I said, it's not that wide a spread. I tend to think when I look at his eyes, he's looking relatively steep. If I look at the line that's coming from his eye there, that goes up through the left hand, the most one on the left, the leftist one, that sort of looks about right. So I tend to think he's good. Surprisingly, none of you have gone further left than this cluster, and I think some of the judges will. I think 1 or 2 of them will go too vertical, if I'm honest, which I think would bring it further over this little cluster here. But anyway, let's get rid of these lines for now and put a big white fat cross in. So there's our average, exactly where we would expect it to be, right in the middle, between those sort of 2 clusters. Then the cluster I talked about there, bottom left, and this 5 that are spread out up here. It's feasible. It makes sense to me. But like I said, the more I look at this guy here, the one that's in the air, the more I think he's looking more to the left, a bit more vertical. But of course, it's all down to what are the judges going to say? How are they going to look at it? And I tend to think they're going to go. Some will go further to the left, which will bring that average further over to the left a bit. But that's just my opinion for what it's worth. You do what you think is right. But yeah, I think I'm going to move mine up because I was the bottom one of that cluster. I'm going to go up nearer to the top of the cluster, I think. Bearing in mind, still want to go too far away from this guy's eyes as well. So that's what I am. Like I said, that was 25241203. Let's jump into Revcomps. I didn't win the Puma ST last night, which is disappointing. I had 9 tickets on it. They were only £2 something, but I had 9 tickets on it. I was convinced I was going to win that, and didn't. So disappointed there. All I've got on Monday's draw is this Porsche or £100,000, and I've only got 1 ticket on that. Even didn't bother with anything else. Then they added some more for next Thursday. Only thing that appealed to me there was this BMW 120D Sport. That's a 2024, so that's still under warranty for a couple of years, and was only 5,000 tickets. So I thought, well, that's a good thing. I'll go for that. And I just chucked one on this Range Rover Sport. I wouldn't keep it, but it's 70,000 cash alternative. Yeah, let's go for that. So that's all I did. It's all I did on there. I have been looking at this. Now, I don't usually look at the bikes that much. I used to have bikes years ago, small, tiny bikes, many years ago, which were great fun. But these smaller bikes they put on here, there's a 125 there, so I'd have to do my CBT again because that ran out like hundreds of years ago. And they got a 125 there. Normally they don't put a cash with them because the bikes are so sort of cheap value. But it's 999 tickets, and it comes with £1,000. So that would pay for my CBT again, and another helmet, and a nice jacket, and gloves and boots. So I've been looking at that sort of since Wednesday night, since they put these on here, but I haven't made up my mind yet. Not sure where I'd keep it because I live in a flat. Auto draws. Well, as you know, the auto draws always get me. I didn't do anything on this Ranger Raptor, although possibly I should have because it's 32 grand cash alternative. I don't know. There's still time. That's being drawn today. I got 6 on this. This Honda CR-V. It's a diesel. It's a 4-wheel drive SUV. It's the sort of thing I was looking for. It's 2016, so it's 9 years old. So it's not too high value. So that would suit me. But odds are high. 25,000 tickets. Didn't bother with a digger, obviously. Nowhere to put it, living in a flat. GTI Club Sport. Haven't done anything with that. Got some on this Nissan Qashqai. I do like that. That is nice. That's Wednesday. Got some on this Tiguan for Friday. This popped up yesterday as well. I think it was yesterday it popped up. Fiesta Active X Edition. I don't know if you know anything about these. These are slightly taller version of the Fiesta 2021 model. But this one's got the 155 brake horsepower engine in it. Mild hybrid. So it pops along. Not a hot hatch by any means, but pops along nicely. And Fiestas are always great to drive in, so, you know, a Fiesta with 155 brake horsepower is probably an absolute dream to drive. I haven't done anything with this yet because there was a lot of tickets. Not sure if I will. 40,000 tickets. Put me off a bit. What I was looking at this morning was this on Elite Competitions. I was only browsing, but there's this banner going across the top. I'm not sure if you can see it on the page. I don't know how much I've expanded the page for you to see. 50% money back all weekend. So I was doing some calculations in my head. Now, bear in mind, the tickets are cheap, which means there's like thousands upon thousands of tickets for sale. But they've got this £1 million mansion or £850,000 cash. And tickets are 24 pence, which means if that's the case, they're probably selling about 4 or 5 million tickets. But the way I was looking at it, if, for example, I bought 50 tickets at 12 quid, then I'd have 50 tickets on the house, I'd have half of it back. So I'd have £6 back in credit, I'm guessing. But then I could buy, out of that, I could buy 50 tickets on this Mercedes-Benz G-Wagon or £125,000 cash. And that would use up, what's 50 tickets of that? £4.50. So I'd have, yeah, because I'd have £6 altogether left from the house sales. So if I bought 50 tickets on you at £4.50, I'd have £1.50 left over, but then I'd have half of that back, so I'd have £2.25. So I'd end up with £3.75 credit left. So then I could buy out of that 25 tickets on this £150,000 tax-free cash, and have half of that back. What would that cost? £3.50. So I'd have £1.75 back plus 25 pence I had left over. So I could end up with 50 tickets on the house, 50 tickets on the Mercedes, and 25 tickets on this 150,000. I'd have spent £12, but I still have £2 left. So that's just an idea. But I mean, have you seen the house? It's in Lytham, up north, near Blackpool, and it's far enough away from Liverpool that you wouldn't have your furniture stolen every week. But nice place. But it means if you're going to keep the house, you'd have to move there, wouldn't you? And there's no cash with it, so it's already furnished, and it comes with a Bentley. So you'd have to have a few bob anyway to be able to run that house and the Bentley. So I'd be surprised if anybody actually takes that. I mean, they're going to take the £850,000 cash. Who wouldn't? But stunning house though. When you look at the pictures of this nice Bentley, the house, a lovely big garden with a spa. They call it a swim spa. Fantastic looking house. Gym. I think there's a closer look at the gym in a second. Barbecue area. Looks like a bit of a bar there as well. Nice. Big open patio doors. A gym that you'd never use, but you could show off to your friends. That's nice. You could have a look at it every day and see how nice and shiny it is and how much dust is on those weights. Entrance hall. That's pretty spectacular, isn't it? I like the look of that. Games room over there. Dining area. I could sit in a different seat every day and still have a spare seat when I'm having my dinner. Kitchen in the background. Lounge, which must be upstairs because there's skylights in the roof. Either that or you can see the room above you. Living room. Bit bland, if I'm honest. No real bright colours in there, is there? Huge living room. No good for me on my own. Games room, pool table, bit of a bar. Games machine. It does say there's a dartboard in there somewhere. I can't see it, but it's there somewhere. Office. Nice. Downstairs toilet. Lovely. There's your landing. Not sure what they're about. I'm guessing they're just decoration, just to look nice. Bedroom 1 looks reasonably sensible, with an ensuite. Bedroom 2, that's great if you're having a Middle Eastern or an African king over, or a dictator for the weekend. Decor that would suit them nicely, you should think. All the people they could murder by phone. Right. Bedroom 2 has also got an ensuite. Bedroom 3 looks a bit more sensible. Don't like them curtains dragging on the floor like that because spiders could crawl up them, and I hate spiders. Bedroom 3 has also got an ensuite. Kid's bedroom with the big cube effect sort of bed. Looks like a Kanye West set. Not sure if I fussed on that, but then, not a kid. Attic, look at all those bottles of Prime down there. If you were drinking more than one bottle of Prime, you'd be banging hell out of these drums and smashing guitars up. And best thing for me is that tree. Look at that tree. That's spectacular. I know I'm making a lot of fuss over a tree, and I'm saying the word tree a lot, but that looks great, doesn't it? Imagine that Christmas time with those tiny little white fairy lights draped all over it at Christmas. That would look spectacular, and everybody'd see it from the road. Anyway, that's enough drooling over this fantastic house. I would, without a doubt, take the £850,000 cash. I mean, I'm not gonna move up there into a house and a car that I can't afford to keep. If it came with, I don't know, £100,000 cash as well, then it's the sort of thing I think, yeah, do you know what? I'd retire early. I'd get in a lodger or two to help pay for the upkeep of it. Be nice that. Anyway, that's enough dreaming for this weekend. Yeah, we've done where we think the average is. We've done Revcomps, and we've done this lovely fancy house that I might buy tickets for. In the meantime, enjoy the rest of your weekend, everyone, and good luck for Tuesday.